Not too sure what I'm gonna get done this weekend because it was like 10 degrees yesterday and I really didn't feel like doing anything, and that really strong magnetic couch just pulled me in. But I need to get a gas tank, gas cap, filler cover from the F350 painted, so that way he can ride around with a at least complete looking bed. So I need to tarp off this portion of the garage, and hopefully it gets warm enough in here so I can actually do something with this, because it's still like 50 degrees today. A lot better than it was yesterday, but not 100%. We are doing some rust killer stuff on James's F350 and painting that up. So let's see what we can get into. Yeah, say it again.
Hey guys, how's it going? Chris is going to teach you how to paint in the worst possible conditions in a 60-degree garage.
How's your mom and them?
How's your mom and them?
You got to turn off.
Oh, hey GoPro, stop recording.
We gotta say it all the more.
GoPro, stop recording!
I know I don't have a mask on. I'm being lazy. Don't judge me. I'm immediately going back outside.
I have a mask on. The sheets are masking.
Well, that happened. I got to my third coat, and I imagine that this being a diesel fuel door its whole entire life, something is absorbed into there, and I don't know, I kept fish-eyeing right there on the bottom, so I took all of the paint back off the front. The rear, or back, whatever, still looks good. It's ready for clear. The front, not so much, so I am lacquer thinning it again. I'm going to repeat the whole process again. So, sealer, 3 coats of paint, and then on to clear. Hopefully, since it's been lacquered quite a bit now, fingers crossed, no more problems. So, let's see what happens. Well, it's been like 3 days since I started recording the video that was supposed to be for this weekend. Apparently that didn't work out. I am taking down the super sweet paint booth, if you want to stretch far enough to call it that. My daily driver, yesterday after work on the way home, I started to smell coolant while I was driving. And today, on the way to work, I started to smell coolant really bad, and all the windows fogged up. So, that means it's heater core time. I have to remove the dashboard and the heater box in order to replace the heater core. It's a 97 town car. So I have to do that now before work tomorrow because my truck's broken and the battery is dead in the Caprice. So, kind of running out of stuff to drive. Not enough time in the day. I would like to just call out of work, but we're already short-staffed and yeah. So, pulling the heater core out of the Lincoln today and putting it back in tonight. But the filler door is painted. That I didn't record it all because I recorded me painting it the first time, and me painting it the second time is exactly the same thing. So it didn't make sense to make y'all sit through that twice. But yeah, long night. That was Sunday night. I didn't get done. I started at like 5 p.m. and didn't end till after 10, I believe. It should have been, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hour process from start to finish, and it's so cold, and you know, just pretty much everything that could be wrong went wrong with that whole project. So yeah, enough of me complaining. Let's get back to work. See all the fog on the windshield? That is because the heater core is leaking bad enough that it's steaming inside of the box and coming up through the vents. It smells terrible inside of my car. So I need to remove about what feels like 100 little tiny bolts and screws out of this thing. I don't know. I feel like I complained to this camera a lot, but it sucks. It sucks a lot. I need to buy something new. Driving old junk is cool sometimes. Like, I've put over 70,000 miles on this car, and I paid $1,500 for it 5 years ago. So I've got my money's worth out of it. But this year it's been, the last couple of months, it's been beating me up on repairs. But I guess it's cheaper than a car payment. So keep on driving the junk. Well, the dashboard is, as you can see, pretty apart. I didn't feel like taking it all the way out. And you can see all that beautiful, nasty, rusty coolant down inside of the heater box that I gotta get out. And then I gotta figure out how to get the new heater core in, because I was impatient. This is nice looking. I was impatient and just bent the lines to get it out. So now I gotta try to do all of this in reverse, and it's only been like an hour, so not too bad so far. Kind of weird sitting in the passenger seat of your car that you drive every day. But the dashboard's back together. It's 10 o'clock. I came out here at like 6:30, I think. I put the dashboard completely back together, and I was in such a rush that I forgot I bought a blend door actuator. So I had to take the dashboard back out. But it's together, it's warming up. Fingers crossed that there's nothing wrong with that heater core. If there's something wrong with that heater core, I ain't going to work tomorrow. But it's supposed to be like 65 degrees tomorrow. So hopefully I can do something cool that's not normal, boring repairs on my junk. Although I do need to rebuild the rear end of my truck. Maybe I'll start that tomorrow. I don't know. But we'll pick this back up tomorrow. Well, let's sit here and wait for this thing to do its thing. I'm tired. I need to build something cool. I am tired of working on junk. Man, I don't know how many times I've said it in my life, but it's been a lot. I need a bigger garage because I am so tired of, like, I don't know, having to clean up because I'm lazy, I guess. Paint stuff, paint stuff, paint stuff. Random ADHD. I fixed my car, so I felt like I needed to clean it. I don't know. Heater core job and paint stuff and detail stuff and crap just everywhere. And what I normally end up doing is something along these lines. You just kind of do one of these and you just scoot it on over to the other side of the garage. You put it in a big pile and you tell yourself, I'm gonna pick that up later. And then like 2 or 3 weeks go by and you're like, I'm gonna pick that up later. And then another 2 or 3 weeks go by and you're like, I have to make a video because I decided to make YouTube videos. So you try and pick up and you try and add that to a video because you spent half your weekend cleaning your garage again and you don't have any actual footage. That's how it works. It's like a constant thing. Yeah, I'm kind of stupid. Well, I wouldn't say kind of. I'm pretty stupid. And I don't know. I'm rambling and complaining again, but that's what it is. It's normal. It's a thing. I don't see exactly where it failed at. I think it's somewhere along the bottom. All the fins being laid over is from me manhandling it out of there, but also from this also, just to make it easier on myself to get it out of the hole. But I mean, there's like a full cup of coolant in there, and my car still reeks of coolant. It's pretty bad. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. Terrible job to do. If you have the means to pay somebody, probably just pay somebody. Like if you have a buddy that's willing to do it for like $50, or if you know some dude that just stands on the corner at 7-Eleven that used to be a mechanic but he works for beer now, just buy that guy beer because it's terrible, terrible job. The truck is in the garage. The tools have been shuffled on the floor. Not picked up, just moved. Got my sweet garage. This isn't the outside. That's another sheet. It looks kind of weird on camera. Got my garage edition here to retain some heat because it's like 40 degrees and dropping. I think it's supposed to get into the 30s tonight. I think. I don't know. But yeah, regardless, it still sucks. So now we're gonna pull this turd apart and see what we can hopefully fix. See all of that? That's metal stuck to the magnet. Rotate it over real quick, James. It's a lot worse than I thought. I don't know what's grinding and popping in there, but it's not good. So it might need a little bit more than a rebuild. Might need a whole center section with. There you go. It's gonna be heavy. Oh, a little bit.
See why I put the bucket? Because I've been cursed by Kiro so much, man.
Gonna be a little
Awkward.
A little weight to it.
You want me to just dump it in the bucket?
Yeah, yeah. Or I mean, just pull straight out. It's not that long. You can put it in there if you want. It doesn't matter. What's that race feel like? Whatever. I gotta brake clean it anyway.
So, what is that other bearing that's in there for?
That holds the end of the shaft. It's like a carrier.
Oh,
Like
I see it carries it.
Yes.
That bearing feels brand new. No flat spots.
That's the one I could see the bearings moving in the cage a little bit. Like it had some slop though.
Front to back. Like I can move them with the truck front to back. But side to side. Maybe
We're not.
that bearing.
Yeah, we have to. That's why we take the rear off to get to that bearing.
Maybe we'll,
I imagine it's toast. There might be a problem with this. Not sure though. So bad. Got this multi-purpose glow plug juice here. It works for pretty much everything. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It like pops
It's supposed to be really, really hard to turn.
It's
and
supposed to take 100 horsepower to turn. Take 5 miles an hour.
It's amazing that it went down the road okay.
Like you didn't even notice mile per gallon loss or anything.
Like, and over the exhaust, I could barely hear the whine at first.
Well, does the audience know how loud the exhaust on the truck is, though?
No. So, your eyes are not deceiving you. This beautiful piece of art here is out of a frame that I had in the backyard because we took, actually, let me just show you. So, took the other center section, whatever, you understand what I'm talking about. Took this apart and I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but all of this in here is chewed up like something came apart at some point and just had a field day in there. And I don't know. I don't trust it. So I think for now, we're going to do the ghetto repair and just slap that other one in this rear end.
The temporary permanent repair.
Yeah, temporary permanent repair because I don't know. It looks good. The other rear end looks perfect inside.
There was no
And I would swap them out, but that's a whole lot of work. And I have bag mounts welded to my rear end, so I'm just not going to do that. So we're going to do some ghetto stuff and bolt this rusty, ugly thing in here that doesn't leak, at least right now. It looks pretty good. The fluid in the other rear end looks good. The gears look perfect in the other rear end. We'll see how it goes.
Rumor has it came out from the Titanic.
Yes. This is the rear end that held the rear wheels on the back of the Titanic. I didn't know if you knew that the Titanic was rear wheel drive, but that's what this came out of. And it's smooth. Like,
So smooth.
see, notice how there's no grit to this, and there's no skipping and popping. There's a whole bunch of
Dirt in
weeds
that
and
back.
dirt in there because I've had this truck frame and rear end for like 6 or 7 years, I think.
Oh, it's long. Bro, it's longer than that.
Maybe 10 years. I don't know.
I was.
I'm not
8 or
very good at
9.
math.
Probably 8 or 9 years. Because this is from Kevin's house.
Yeah.
And then
Who knows?
that was
But
like 14, 15.
we're gonna try and throw this in there, and hopefully it lasts a while. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Worth a shot. I'm not out any money this way. And looking at the rear end in that other truck, if I have to end up pulling the center section out of it and just rebuilding it with the rebuild kit that I have, it's not a bad option. As long as it doesn't ruin that gear that we're about to throw in there, it'd be just fine. I need a bigger garage. So last night was a rather long night. I didn't go inside until almost 1. Ended up pressing the old pinion bearing assembly apart, and it was kind of questionable. I want a friend of mine to look at it to see what he thinks. I'm used to rebuilding forklift axles, not so much the little stuff. Forklift axles is a bunch of O-rings and stuff that weighs thousands of pounds, not little teeny tiny bearings. So it's a little different, but the same thing at the same time. I don't know. Ended up slapping the other one from the rear end in the backyard in there and replacing the bearing, the pinion carrier bearing, like holds the back of the shaft, whatever. It still makes a little noise. I believe that the bearings that hold the center section in might have gotten hot. It's just a faint noise. Like I can hear it just a little bit if I'm not on the gas, like because the truck's so loud. You might be able to hear it on the gas, but I can't because the exhaust is obnoxious. But I did drive the truck to the dump, and my bed and the 5x8 is finally empty. And it took me a long time to empty. That thing was packed full, and the raccoons got in it, and the possums got in it, and just tore it up. It was disgusting, but at least that's out of the way, and the truck's movable. I feel confident that I can drive it, like, around town or to work if I have to. Like, it's just the slightest noise. So once I get a dry day, because it's pouring down rain off and on today, I'll put the chassis ears on it and drive it around and see if that noise is actually the rear end now. I mean, it could be a U-joint or whatever. I don't know. But I'm trying to get into something else when I get back home and eat lunch. And that'd be about it for the video, I believe. It's getting kind of strung out and boring, more so than it has been, I guess. Hopefully next week I can fabricate something and make a cool video instead of this same junk I've been doing. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.